Okay, so we have our duck fat rendering on the stove. That's going to take a couple hours or so to be done. But when it is done, you can use duck fat to cook almost anything, really. Potatoes are classic, Brussels sprouts, vegetables, any kind of meat. Anything you want to taste good is going to be great with duck fat. Store it in your freezer for 3 or 4 months, and you can use it. It's really good stuff. So one of the classic things to do with duck fat is to make confit. Confit is a preservation method. We use salt to extract water from the meat, kind of cut down on some of that pathogen activity that's in the meat to help preserve it, and then we cook it very slowly at low temperature, submerged in its own fat in the oven. And then that entire crock traditionally would be placed in the root cellar with an intact layer of fat over the top that prevents any oxygen from getting to the meat, and the meat would be preserved through the winter or through the summer with no refrigeration in the root cellar, actually gaining flavor over time. So we're a little less interested in preservation than we are in just cooking for great flavor. Although certainly if you want to preserve this duck confit in your refrigerator for a month or two, it's only going to get better as long as you keep it submerged under fat. So to get started, traditionally we would use about an ounce of salt per pound for preservation. But because we're not going to preserve it, I'm less interested in that, and we're going to use a little less salt. Now don't be too scared about that. Most of that salt gets brushed off and rubbed off and doesn't actually go into the cooking. But to get started, we do that. So we're going to take about an ounce of salt on our sheet tray here. Just there for now. We'll take about an ounce of salt on our sheet tray. And we use only kosher salt in the restaurant, and really that's all you want to use for confit. We use Diamond Crystal kosher salt is really the best. So we're going to flavor our preservation with some herbs and some spices that we have. And I have some toasted juniper berries, black peppercorns, and allspice, because that's what I have in my spice cabinet. If you don't have those, or you have something else that you think might taste good, coriander seed is something we use in the restaurant a lot. Do that by all means, but don't go to the store to buy spices. It's not necessary. But if you do have them, they're a classic. Same thing with some herbs. We have some thyme. It happens to be what I have in my refrigerator, because thyme is something I use a lot of. It's something we always put in our confit, actually. And then lastly, I have a couple of cloves of garlic that I've sliced up and done. So we'll do that. A little bit more salt. And again, don't be scared. This isn't going to really end up in the meat. We're going to just season that a little bit and press it down. A little bit of salt on top. Okay, so then we have another piece of parchment paper. We'll put that on top. Another sheet tray. And we'll put this in our refrigerator with something to kind of weigh it down overnight. It's 7:30 or so right now. When I get up tomorrow morning at 8:30 or so in the morning, I'll take it off the cure. About 12 hours like that's going to be plenty. So we'll remove the salt, wash it off entirely, and we'll cook it from there.